All right, hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Krashy, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a self-VOD review over a gameplay I got last night, and it's kind of similar to one that I did in the past where I want to talk about like how my teammate is just basically throwing, and we just kind of stick into it with a tough mental, and I'll show you the chat, which I rarely, it's so funny, I rarely play with chat on, but sometimes I forget to turn it off, and because I'll turn it on because people will notice me, or like I'm playing with people that I know or something. And yeah, so let's go ahead and dive into it. We're playing some Shinbi jungle. I might talk a little bit about that or whatever. But yeah, start of the game, I've been doing this thing where I look to ward and then I early base, go grab a sentry, and then come back in the jungle. I've been sentry jungling level 1 a little bit more often. And yeah, so we start off with sentry, and for the sake of paying attention to the team comps, going ahead and do that now. At the top left, we have a Sparrow, a Murdoch off lane, we have a Shinbi jungle, a Gideon mid lane, and a Decker support. So we're incredibly squishy, and I think that's where a lot of this like whole thing started. Yeah, the enemy team has a Narbash and a Rampage, so they have like a little bit of bulk on their team, a much more well-rounded team comp. And I think an important thing to know is that I just rarely give offlane attention. I said this on my stream recently. Like, I wonder if like players that play this game hate me as a jungler because I don't go to offlane. Like, I really don't. It's such an island, and it's the same thing that I said last time when I did this video, where offlaners are just expecting too much out of their scenario and from their their junglers, and the other side of the map, and doing things is really, really important. Now, I'm not really advocating that you should never gank off lane. I actually think that there could be an entire strategy where you specifically gank off lane and you try to get your offlaner really fed, and then hopefully they could carry that in roam a lot. That's definitely a thing you could do, especially if you're coordinated with your offlaner. But in my current scenario, not what I'm doing. So offlane gets ganked really early. He takes some damage. He is actually winning his fight against the Shinbi. It's Murdoch early, so you kind of expect that would happen. And I play Shinbi very, very farm heavy. You're going to watch a game where I essentially do not gank for a really long time. Now, I'll try to gank every now and then some games I just look at it and I go, no, there's no gank. I'm looking at the map right now, and the Rampage is in the offlane still, has been in the offlane still, and so I'm punishing it, right? I'm finding a trade. I'm doing what I can to find a trade. All right, now that I'm unmuted from sneezing. Okay, so let's look at the game state. 3:30 on the clock. I actually see that there's some kills here potentially, so I abandoned this camp and look to try to help out. So but the Rampage like really stayed and sat on the offlane and got a kill, and so Murdoch is dead pretty early on. This is where it all starts, right? His lane has been influenced by the jungle quite a bit, but I'm still doing what I said, which was like I really wanted to punish the Rampage, and I wanted to steal jungle. Now look at what I see right here. I still see Rampage over there. I'm punishing full jungle, but the gadget sees me, so I rotate out. Narbash sees me, so I rotate out. So at this point, I know that the jungle 1v1 is kind of going well because I'm out farming him. I'm also gonna go and check his red side to see if he full cleared it. If he doesn't, here we go. So I'm taking a very farm style of play with Shinbi here, and I actually like playing her like this regardless. It's not like this was just one game where I will look to farm really, really heavy with her because she actually farms so fast and so well that you can get your wild hunt incredibly fast. So just going through this jungle, like I can see that his camps are coming back up, and that he was low, and he's probably going to go check his blue side most likely because his red buff shouldn't be back up just yet. So he's probably going to go check his blue side, and he's going to realize that there's only one camp there. So this is a big focus of me this game that I made intentionally, was to be far less gank heavy than on Shinbi even than I usually am, in order to get some additional farm. So I see there's 40 seconds left on his red, and I have some time. I have a lot of my jungle up, and I'm just deciding what I want to do here. So just looking around, I'm either going to go back into my blue side and full clear, maybe go to my red side full clear. I'm trying to predict my own movements here, and we'll see what happens. So Rampage gets a kill in the duo lane. I have a little over 1,200 gold, you can see in the bottom left, so I'm just going to start working on my Megacosm so we can get the Potent Staff. Going to get that come right back out, because if I am taking a farm heavy style and I see that my blue side's coming back up or my blue is coming back up, this is just going to feed into that, right? Because I'm stronger now. So we've had some kills. It sucks that I can't see the kills, but we've had some kills on both teams, and I have not been a factor in any of that. And, you know, that could be viewed as a weakness, right? Like, oh, you're never ganking. I totally get that. But you could also view the flip side of that coin, which is I am vastly out farming their Rampage. And he is going to keep up in levels and experience a bit, but probably not in gold nearly enough, because of the fact that I'm actually just like perma farming. And you can see I'm checking the CS right now. I didn't have a chance to look at it just now, but checking the CS a little bit, and also just the fact that I'm going to be leveling my wild hunt faster. So that has an opportunity for a really big payoff. I'll try to show it to y'all if I can, but I actually think that I don't get it. So something to think about. I chased down the Shinbi a little bit. I think she definitely saw me because I got hit by the minion, so this is a little bit of a wasted time for me, just for the sake of saying, like, for my own mind, this is a waste of time. And I'm going to step in here, and I know that his red was coming up, so I know that he potentially was going to be here, so I was going to go peek it and see if he was doing it. I can maybe steal it from him, and we're just going to run out. So I still see him on my back. I pull my camera. Easiest dodge of my life. Easiest dodge of my life. Would take the move speed buff. And right here, I'm kind of limit testing. I'm limit testing. I see he has an Overlord, so I know about what his build is. And I realize now he's beating my ass, so I cannot really fight him. I really want to show, like, presence. I'm looking at his items, so I'm like, what the hell does he have? He throws a rock at me. I dodge that. But yeah, I was like, damn, dude, he's kind of beating my ass. So unfortunately, I waste a little bit of time here, but he's on my blue side, and there's nothing in there. So there's like one camp he could maybe take. I'm not really that worried about one camp. What I am worried about is Murdoch. I'm sitting here thinking he's probably going to gank Murdoch again because he's just so close to it already. But I'm going to go to my red side. And again, in my mind, I'm looking at CS. I'm just thinking, okay, I'm way ahead of this guy. And all I have to do is fight for my wild, because I can influence First Fang really strongly and get the game like snowballing, or like get the momentum building in one direction. So just kind of what I'm thinking here. Now, if any of my lanes were doing, I suppose, like super poorly, or if our duo lane was like hard pushed up against tower and they're just getting perma shoved in, I could definitely help them. Ironic enough, they are actually getting shoved here, but they run back really fast, so not much of an opportunity for me to help there. And I might be standing on a ward right now, but my teammate was so low anyways that even if I did sweep right there, I wasn't going to be able to do anything because my teammate had to back up. So I actually take a win on that trade a little bit there, but I don't want to overcommit because I know that my Sparrow was had to base, so it just would have turned into a 2v3 if the Decker rotated over, if the duo lane rotates over. So it's not really a prolonged fight that I could really afford to take there. So, all right, we have our ultimate now. Now I'm like a little bit more comfortable. Have ping on the Decker. Or on the gadget, and I really am trying to commit to this. You can see I really want to. I throw my ultimate, but I didn't have enough of the wolves like built up on her, so it's kind of a wasted ultimate. I mean, I shove her out, I'm gonna make her waste her life. That gives Gideon time to either shove his lane, or you know, he roamed a little bit or whatever he's doing, right? He's getting the river buff, so that's gonna give him a little bit of time, so that's nice. And I'm looking to de-ward because this is important to still have presence here. And yeah, no wards, and I'm just looking around. I don't think I steal this. I'm not sure, actually. I don't know. I should have looked at my gold to see if I stole that, but try to steal that, but I don't know. Either way, we're half health. We're on map. I'm still just going to probably go farm or go check the red side invade. All right. We're checking the red side invade. Here we are. More jungle stealing from him. Using one of my hunts because I have two. Whatever I can take from him to slow him down and give myself more gold is like what I'm interested in doing. So 70 to 38. That's the farm right now between jungle. And so I know that whenever I make this decision, it's like a conscious decision that like allows my, or not even allows, it forces my laners to take their isolated lanes, right? Like I'm not really influencing their lanes at all. I've barely shown up anywhere at all. And I do think that you can view that as like a bit of a weakness, but you can also, like I said, you can also always look at that flip side. Now, here's the thing. I didn't know they were doing Fang there. I actually need to go back, because even now, I'm not sure that I knew that they were on Fang. So I see that like a ward pings, and I see my teammates pinching in, but like nobody really, like, I guess there was like one ping for attack Fang Tooth. I was gonna say, I just didn't know they were doing it. So let me peel back and see like when I feel like I should have known. Because I would like to, like, I remember thinking like, oh, there's no way I didn't know they were doing that. That sucks. So this is a little bit far back. So I go to his red side. I'm invading. We just like don't have like a strong ward on it. I don't know if their rampage is on it now. But like, yeah, I'm way over here by the time I think like we even realize that they're probably doing it. So I think that's just like a little unfortunate. Yeah, she pings it now, and I'm like, I'm over here. We don't have like a good ward on it, so I think this is like an opportunity that's like, or this is just like a circumstance that's like a little unfortunate, because like if we had maybe had a better ward, I could probably get there in time, but unfortunately that's not the case. So I was looking for a potential gank on the Shinbi, but I see that they weren't exactly stepped up. And they get the first Fang Tooth. So that's unfortunate, because with like this hyper farming style, what I was essentially going to try to get was my wild and then go for first Fang and try to like get momentum for us. But it didn't work out that way. So, all right, 7 seconds on the red buff. It's like, you know what? If we're going to give first Fang, I have to take the whole jungle over here, right? Because I need to trade it somehow, like some kind of value. That's what I'm looking to do here. And even for the sake of saying, I'm a little uncomfortable with how little I've ganked this game. Like, I don't even like that I've been so gank short in a sense. But some games are just going to be that way. So the Murdoch dies to the Shinbi. She's one hit, but I have this like heavy pressure on my back, so I can only do so much. I saw his rock. I'm like trying to like you hug walls and do whatever you can to make him miss. So I actually hug that corner just enough that he misses. And this Rampage is just not happy. I think he's like that to me, that little bitty mini chase is just like a holy shit, this dude's taking all my jungle. I'm super pissed. And you can see the level difference. He's level 5, I'm level 7. So this is something that the laners don't see. And I don't really expect them to see it unless you train yourself to press tab and look at it. Yes, you maybe have died in your lane in the off lane, or haven't had, you know, the most gank pressure. But look at the flip side of that coin. If I'm still doing good work, then it's something that you have to recognize so you don't tilt. So what I'm trying to teach here essentially is the importance of knowing that you're literally on an island in off lane. Yes, that's kind of the sentiment between this video and the last one that I did like this, but also don't be afraid to press your tab key and look and see what's happening. Like if you can look at me and look at the enemy jungler and see that I'm doubling his CS and I have 2 levels on him, that's probably a good thing. So don't be too tilted when something like that happens. Okay, so this Shinbi stops me, which I was just like, you know what, I'm going to stick it and I can always just get out. So it's a bit annoying. I accidentally take Gideon's portal and that was really weird. I was like, oh shit. But we're doing okay, right? Like relatively speaking, we're doing okay. It's 1 to 4, I think I just saw. Now I'm like hitting some really nice power spikes, and we lose a mid tower. And I think we mostly just lose the mid tower just because our Gideon has been roaming a little bit, and that's totally fine. That is totally fine. So now I'm thinking like, okay, I need to step on the gas a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it's taken us some time. I haven't really, like, it's time to start trying to scale, right? Like it's, it's taken me some time. I farmed up. I unfortunately missed the window to get the first Fang Tooth because that would have been some really nice momentum for our team. And that's okay. It's just the first Fang Tooth. But I have been like keeping the enemy jungler kind of oppressed a little bit. He hasn't had as much farm as he would have liked. And even though I think he has like maybe 2-3 kills now, that should be okay. So, all right, we're coming in now. I step over the ward, but it doesn't matter because I was already committed to the gank. And I really want to just try to get into this if I can. I'm building up as many wolves as I can. And I'm not going to be able to do much. Try to throw my Q, but I think I'm too far out of range anyways. And now we're pretty deep. Now we're pretty deep. So this is unfortunate. The gadget and the rampage roam into this. And there's not a whole lot that we can do there. So I see the gank. I know there's no way for me to help, and I'm just thinking maybe I can get timers, maybe I can steal jungle, but there's really not much for me. So I think they maybe have had that warded because as soon as I go into the jungle here, the Rampage chases after me, so that's a little unfortunate, and that's the first surrender vote of the game. So make note of that. 14 minutes, first surrender vote. I had to use my blink, and I'm just running out, right? Always trying to steal jungle if I can. So look at this guy. He's so tilted. I have 2 levels on him still. You can still see the change that's, or like you can see the advantage that's been built. I have the 2 levels on him, and I'm just right back to farming. Like, this is the best case scenario for us right now. And we have Fangtooth coming up in a bit, and the game is like far from over, right? Like I'm very farmed at very least. You can view that I'm very farmed, and I wanted to see if he was maybe doing that. So he's not doing the mini prime, and if you look at the chat in the bottom left, you can see my Murdoch has spammed good job a couple times. It's like it's the beginning of the tilt, like that you're starting to see now. So with her so close, definitely gank worthy. I need to try to run in close to her so that way I don't have to use my dash, but I am forced to use a dash there. And then we get some good damage on her, but, you know, with us being the same character, there's not much for me to do. So I'm going to sweep out a ward here, and then I'm going to look for a mini prime, because I can carry this mini prime into the next Fangtooth. My timing is a little slow here. If the enemy team was like hard rotating there, they would be able to beat me there, but I don't think that they're going to like be that disciplined. So I just like stick with the plan. We also just get a kill on the Narbash from a Gideon roam. Our Gideon roam was actually, or Gideon was doing a really good job of roaming. He hadn't gotten the most kills off of it. Like, he wasn't getting the payout that he wants out of it, but he was doing his job of pushing his wave and roaming. So I get the mini prime, and now I'm basing, I'm spamming Fangtooth, and that's where I want to take us, right? So we have like a clear goal of what we're trying to achieve right here. I'm working on my build, and I'm farmed. I have good levels. We just got to pick. You know what I mean? Like the game state, if you're looking at the game state, it's not bad. It's 5-8. Let's look at it. 5-8. We're down 1 Fangtooth. My teammates just take a lot of damage here, which sucks. But that happens. So I'm going to play a little bit conservatively here. And I'm actually trying to stay out of his vision, but the likelihood that he doesn't see me when I have my my sentry on is pretty low. So he knows I'm here now, and I just need to buy time. Look at the map positioning. I don't have any teammates here. I just need to buy time. So look at what I do. I'm just gonna poke. I'm gonna prod. I'm gonna, you know, make sure I'm not getting flanked. Like, I'm just taking my time. All right. Any potential gank on the duo lane, like as they get, you know, uncoordinated potentially. Buying time. It's fine. You know, offlaners are on their island. I reached for my sweeper to see if there was anything there, but I don't have one, so that happens sometimes. And with nobody around, I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, let me just do this then. Megacosm's online. I shred this very fast. Let's start this off. And I'm looking at the lanes because I want to see if they know. Because like, I probably walked over a ward. That's something I'm thinking too. Do they know? And I saw the Narbash move. So they knew. They knew. I walked over a ward. And that's a little sus, right? That's okay though. So now I get evasive. I dash around, and then I'm looking at the health of the Fangtooth the whole time. So we get the Fangtooth, right? Solid. I need to space out of here because I'm taking a little bit of damage, but I can corner peek and I can throw damage. Keep corner peeking, throwing damage. I accidentally step on the trap. There's not much for me to do here. I'm just too low. I would love to help them, but I'm too low. Unless he runs into me anyways. Now I'm absolutely targeting the ward because I just assume that I'm dead anyways, so I want to take the ward out with me. And the gadget dumps ult, and we lose out on that one. We lose out on that one. So 8-11, but looking at the game state, it's not the end of the world. 8-11, there's a surrender vote for some reason, and we're tied fang to fang. It's crazy. Actually, you know what? I think I turned the team chat on in this game. So I've missed a lot. I'm pretty sure I turned the chat on, but I see our Murdoch and I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here? Yeah, that's actually what happens. I forgot. And as soon as I turn it on, the Murdoch says, please. And I say, why? Like, I thought maybe he had to go or something. And then like, you know what I mean? And then I was going to ask him, like, if you can give a good reason. And so then our Sparrow says, like, just play. It's like, you're doing bad, Decker, just play, shut up. Yeah, it's just you. So like, me, the Decker, and the Sparrow are all on the same page. Like, I guess the Murdoch's just tilted and he's like trying to surrender. but the game state is really not that bad. What did I say? 8 to 11. Like, I think that anybody, if you can step yourself out of this game, right? Like, yeah, we got killed all there in the pit, but if you can step back from the game and look at it, like, we're doing fine, and I think that's really important. I'm super farmed. I've got good levels. You know, we're doing fine. So, and still trying to push ourselves in whatever way we can. So, clearing wards whenever I can. It's always important just to clear wards, even if you can't get a gank off of it, because you get something out of it. You get gold out of it. You're denying their time with the ward. Obviously, the faster you can kill the ward, the better, because then they placed it and they're not getting any kind of like a return on that. So that's really important if you can. But when the rampage saw me, there was not much for me to do, so I just go back and farm. You know. I do think that Shinbi is not a very gank heavy jungler to begin with. She's very much so a farming jungle. Sparrow gets 2 kills, the Gideon dies, the Sparrow gets the 3rd kill. We are fine. You have to know that the game state is perfectly fine here. So I'm looking at the top right, look at the UI, the gadget's down for 30 seconds. I can shove out this mid lane. Sparrow gets another kill on the Murdoch. We are more than fine. Like, we're doing perfectly well now. I know that there's no one here. Maybe the rampage shows up, and that's fine because I can get away from him. But yeah, I'm just gonna like proxy farm this wave. The Shinbi kills the Murdoch again. So you know, like I said, he's definitely just like tilted and it's been contributing to that tilt a little bit. Like his performance and like the fact that, you know, he hasn't got the gank or whatever. He's just like super frustrated. And we knock out mid tower. We knock out right lane tower. We're in a great position here. We're in a very, very good position here. I'm looking for red side jungle. Looking for any timers that I can get. Just trying to keep as much of farm lead on the jungler as possible. So, still in this camp. Turn to my camera. I see the rampage, and I'm gone. I don't know if the mid rotated or anything. So I go out from the off lane, and I'm out of there. You know. And I'm going right back into my jungle to continue farming. So I wish I saw his level because I'm curious what the lead is like, what the farm is like. You know, it's a big focus of me this game because that's what I was literally focusing on. So I might peek it here in a second. But I mean, I was doing all of this very intentionally. All right, shove out this wave a little bit. The Murdoch wasn't on his way over, so I did it. But now he's here, so we can look for a potential gank on her. Like, I'm not trying to help him. It's just in general, in the early game, I don't really help offlane too much. So look and see if we can do anything here. Try to commit to her. She uses a blink, and that's as much of a trade as we can get, right? I can't out chase her if I'm not using a blink, and I don't think I can kill her that fast, so I'm not going to blink. So we force a blink, not terrible. There's a surrender vote, right? It's like, okay, he does the little good job command and then surrender votes. I don't know why, right? Like, again, game state wise, we're fine. And then he says jungle is shit or whatever he says, and our Sparrow says, "Oh, Mordok, poor guy," and I just say 0-4. Like, whatever he thinks is happening is not actually happening. It's just tilt, right? He's frustrated that he's not having a game that's like scoreboard like happy, and he's frustrated. Now, I'm trying to push this lead instantly, right? Like, I really want this second Fangtooth. I'm on spawn, and he says, "Been camped." It's like, okay. Like, I know you've been camped. All right, this is where things are going to get a little hairy. So I try to avoid the rampage damage. I'm really watching it. Boom, I smite it. Perfect. I actually don't use my crest there. That's super bad. I should have used my crest there. Now, look at my Sparrow, though. Look at my Sparrow, though. He said, "Been camped, still more CS." I said, "Welcome to a carry off lane." Like, you're gonna get camped when you play carry off lane. It's just I said, "Welcome to carry off lane." It's bad. The Decker kills our Sparrow here. I thought that was super funny. I even call it out. Like, I don't mean it to be bad, but the Decker walked the hat into our Sparrow, which is like super funny because the Sparrow would have cleaned this whole thing up. And again, game state wise, we're fine. So Murdoch's holding his off lane best he can. He's actually kind of winning a fight. So and then the chicken says Murdoch snipe, clueless. Like, even the Gideon's mad because like the Murdoch could have turned and sniped the gadget or whoever. I'm not gonna lie, I was upset because I don't want him to take my blue. He says good job. Like, you can just tell, again, like the whole point is that like this dude is not having like a great game himself, and he's like willing to literally give up a win. He's literally willing to sacrifice and forfeit a win because his game hasn't gone well, and because, you know, it's not meeting like his standard of the laning phase that he wants. So now I'm just like trying to tell my team like general like advice. I don't usually do this, but if I have my chat on, I might as well. So I said, let's start roaming toward Prime, because it's, you know, 24 minutes. We're strong as shit, like actually just strong as shit. Rampage is level 10. I have 3 levels on Rampage. Like, this is not for nothing. He says no. He said, I'm good, no. And I said, no, you aren't. You're bad. So, I mean, I'm annoyed by this guy, right? He says, I said, let's start roaming towards Prime, which, first of all, he's literally on that side anyway. So he doesn't have to roam anywhere. He's just being a douchebag, right? He's like, no, I'm good. And I was like, no, you're not good. You're actually very bad. So then our Sparrow said, very bad. So you get my point, right? He's self-sabotaging, man. And I think that it's so important to look at situations like this. He said lost 0 ganks. It's like, okay, dude, like, we get it, right? Like, we get that you're not having a good lane, and that just like doesn't mean shit to us. And the reason why I'm doing a video like this is because it's about the mentality, and it's about like the circumstances. Now the Shinbi dives in on me, dude, she cannot fight me. Like, there's just no way. Now this turns into a bit of a prolonged fight, and I'm not sure if I live this one. I'm trying to get away from it because I know that my wolves are gonna force my, like, the Razorback to do damage to me. And I'm just like trying to run away from this dude. Run away from this dude. He misses the rock. Honestly, the rock probably would have killed me, but I have my E up, and I'm getting stun help, and easy kills, man. Easy kills. Very cool. Very, very cool. And he said 2 and 4. I love this. He's like excited. 2 and 4. Thank you. And I said, nice. And then he called us apes, which was like, okay, like, I don't understand this guy, dude. I said maybe play actual offlaners, like, and you won't be dead weight. Like, I'm letting the dude have it this game. Like, it's true. And then he's gonna be like, maybe gank, and it's like, dude, that just wasn't my focus this game. You know what I mean? Like, I get that you're in like a carry off lane, but I don't respect carry off lanes because it's not good. And I don't gank losing lanes, and I definitely don't gank solo lane anyways. Like, I just really don't. And is that his fault? No, not necessarily, but you can actually recognize it, right? Like, as an offlaner, you can't control what your jungler does. This is like moral of the story, right? Like, as an offlaner, you can't control what the jungler does. So you have to make the most out of it, but more importantly, you have to mentally, and like, you have to mentally like fortify yourself for whatever, because the game state is actually just in our favor. It's 17-16, and it's 17-16. I have levels over their jungler. We have a Fang lead. Like, we have a fed Sparrow. Like, dude, everything about this game indicates that we're winning, except for this dude's willingness to literally end the game with a forfeit. So it's like, if this dude would just like shut the fuck up and play the game, like, we just win. We actually just win the game. So it's really annoying, but that's the game state versus the mentality of a carry off laner who, you know, expects to be camped or some shit. So he said, you didn't gank for the first 25. Trash. It's like, well, that's definitely not true because it's only 27. But I didn't gank for a long time. All right, so I thought we had like a nice opportunity to find a pick, but I kind of get in a little bit too deep. So that's a bit on me. And I can't quite get out. If I had my blink there, I think that would have been okay. But the Sparrow's carrying, so she's doing her thing, and Murdoch's looking for a cross map site. So a little overzealous from me there, but I am kind of like in that position where I want to start stepping on the gas a little bit. And I just like haven't, it didn't really execute there the way that I wanted to. Now I am asking my team to go get Fang. The Sparrow sees a different play. I say take Fang because that's like Fang 3. It's primal Fang. Like, that's a huge spike for us. She sees a different play. Unfortunately, the Murdoch gets farmed here, which is pretty funny. She sees a different play to go for the inhib, which is a little bit of a lasting play if you can get this and the Fang. So I don't hate this. Like, she saw this play. I didn't really like call that or anything. So it's a solid play. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I see this. All right, dope. The Gideon dives in on the gadget. They're going to take a pick on the gadget. Very cool. And I'm going to try to defend our inhib with the Decker. So, because the Murdoch got killed, going to try to defend the inhib with the Decker. We don't really have an opportunity to kill her, and that's fine. Like, I'm not even going to chase her down. And then Murdoch said, let it fall, loser. It's like, let the inhib fall. Like, again, I want y'all to really pay attention to how this player is acting. You don't show all game. It's like, just look at how this guy's acting. He's so hard locked on the fact that his lane didn't go the way he wanted that he's still bitching and moaning despite the fact that we're winning the game. Like, he's still bitching and moaning, and we are like hard winning the game. All right, I'm calling for my team to show up to Primal Fang. We're going to go ahead and start it. We're in a pretty damn strong position. We have a fed Sparrow. I'm farmed to shit, like farmed to the teeth. Gonna knock out this ward. And boom, Primal Fang, cool. Rampage steps in, I ping it so they know that he's here. And we just take him out. Misses his rock. Nice, nice and easy. And now we can go Prime. And I just said Orb. So now we can just go straight to Prime. Solid game state. Like, everything's perfect. Like, we're doing well. My health's a little concerning, but there's a few of us here, so we can burn it. As long as the Decker gets on, I can lifesteal off this a little bit. But look at how fast we're shredding it with this Sparrow. Sparrow's just disgusting, so. Alright, Shinbi comes in. I don't know if I have to get elusive. No, okay. Don't have to do too much there. Shinbi's not their jungler, so it's not like she has a smite or anything. And I'm going to take a step back and just go ahead and base, reset, spend my 2k gold, and we're chilling. We're nice and chilling this game. Alright. So just looking at the game, 23 to 18, we have Primal Blaze or whatever, Primordial Blaze buff on for 60 seconds. We've got levels. We have 3 Fangtooth buff, so that's what 8% stats. Like, everything is perfect. Like, our Murloc's hard pushing left lane, which I think is fine as long as he doesn't die here. I'm kind of calling for us to push it up mid because why not? We have Inhib open on right side, so like, I mean, I literally can't complain in the current state of the game at all. We just do what we got to do now. We start pushing it in. I'm just looking for poke. I don't want to get too deep in there. This tower's going to fall down. Poking out the wave. You can hit the waves really hard with Shinbi's Q, so like a really good way to just like farm out the waves. Trying to watch my team with the hat on me so I don't give them any extra damage. Although we do have Orb Prime on, so it's not like we can't just regen it. But I'm just like Q poking here. Just Q poking. Alright. Sparrow got a pick on the Murdoch. We have the right lanes pushing in. We get the mid inhib, and now I'm looking over at the left lane. My teammates are running it in. I can just work on this. I'm looking to just blow cooldowns on her because she just like really contested. Sparrow takes the pick on her. And now we have 2 down for 30 plus seconds. You can see I'm just trying to farm out the waves, use my hunt on one of the big minions just to kill it faster, push all these waves in similar timing if possible. And hey, look at that. We're winning the game. We are winning the game here. Look for a pick on the on the rampage. I'll go ahead and blink out. Use my double dash to get in there because if you get the pick, it's lasting, right? All right, 4 are down. Our waves are actually thin, so we got to back up. We're gonna go ahead and you know, catch these waves up, and then we are going to end the game. So there you have it, friends. Keep your head on straight. Look at the game objectively. You know, look at the game, not your lane. And I type in chat, solid 4v5. GG's to my team. GG's to my team. Solid 4v5. We got the job done. And that's how you do it. So friends, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe for future Predecessor content. You know, people just gotta, you gotta stop with the tilt. You gotta stop, man. Games are winnable if you don't throw them away. If you forfeit, you guarantee lose. You try it out. you can win. So thank you so much for watching. As always, be sure to be kind of one another, tell someone you love them, and I'll see you on the next video.